can't even keep it real yourself. You out here rocking fake Jordans with the cheesy tags. That's what you do.
Yo, what's going on, folks? Retrospective Dave here, and welcome to my official legit check of the Rare Air Jordan 11. So first, you want to check for the GB3U9 RFID behind the box label. If you have a hard time peeling back the label, you can always use a heat gun or a hair dryer to loosen the glue. So one of the telltale signs that you might have a fake is the translucent sole at the toe cap. What you'll notice on the real pair is that you can't see through it, whereas on some fakes, you can. Another indicator that you might have a fake is the carbon fiber plate. The pattern on the real pair is circular and will match the paper in the box. Some of the fake pairs will have patterns that are more square and most likely won't match the pattern that's on the shoe paper. If you pay attention to the heel where the 23 is embossed, this also serves as a good area for authenticating this colorway. When looking at the side-by-side comparison, the embossing on the real pair is very pronounced to the point where you can see the material folding over the top and bottom half of the 23. On the other hand, the embossing on the fake pair isn't as strong and the 23 basically sits on top of the material. Another telltale sign that you might have a fake is the ankle collar. Specifically, the ankle collar on the real pair is very streamlined and not too bulky. What you'll find on a lot of the reps is that this particular area is bulky or usually overscaled. If you were able to get the Gratitude 11s in 2023, I think that's a good sneaker to compare to the Rare Air 11, simply because the mold is the same. So when it comes to that slim ankle collar that I was just speaking about, it's very consistent with both of these pairs. So let's get into some particulars with the Authentic, starting with the insoles. When you flip your insoles over, you should have a puncture at the top of each one, and the puncture should be facing the inside of whichever insole you're looking at. Another detail that you'll notice on the Authentic is that the tongue is a lot closer to white than the rest of the upper, which is more dingy or aged, and you'll see this difference better under good sources of light. If your pair was distributed in the United States, then your size sticker should be placed above the Rare Air logo on both your left and right insole. If your pair was distributed outside of the United States like mine, then your left insole should have a sticker that looks like this, and the right insole should have a size sticker. As for the size tag inside of the shoe, it should feel waxy or smooth, kind of similar to how the size tag feels in a lot of the newer Nike SB Dunk lows. If your size tag feels raw or doesn't have that waxy texture, then it's a good chance that you might have a fake. Most adult sizes should have SC1 as a factory code. When it comes to Jordan 11 releases, especially when they're mass produced, the production is usually split between several factories, so it's possible for you to have some variation of the LN family, such as like LN4, LN3, LN3M, but a majority of you should have SZ1 as a factory code since this was a relatively limited release. When inspecting the footbed, it should be smooth and light gray in color. It should have two punctures, one towards the heel and one towards the toe. These punctures should also have depth to them as well. You should also have a blue stamp on both insoles, matching the blue stamp that is underneath the box lid. As most of you know, the sneaker comes with shoe paper, not shoe trees. The shoe paper should be shaped like a foot and take up most of the space inside of the shoe. If the shoe paper is just balled up and stuffed inside of the shoe, then that's definitely not a good sign, especially if you're buying them brand new. Moving on to the box, you should have a blue stamp and a QC sticker underneath the box lid. There's also a YCM sticker along with that ABC print that we saw with the Air Jordan 10 box. There should only be one sheet of graphic shoe paper that matches the graphic of the carbon fiber. As for the texture on the paper, it should be smooth on the side that the graphic is on and rough on the blank side. If your paper feels consistent in texture, then consider that a red flag. One more thing I'd like to add about the box, like I said earlier in the video, if you have the Gratitude 11, then that's definitely a good shoe to compare when trying to authenticate the Rare Air 11. If you take the two boxes and you line them up, then they should line up perfectly in dimensions. Usually when you have a fake box, it should be significantly smaller than a real box, sometimes vice versa. But if you take those two boxes and you line them up, they should line up perfectly. One shouldn't be longer or bigger than the other one. And that pretty much wraps up this legit check on the Rare Air 11. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.